Hey again, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about something that isn't an anime or really even a theory video, but it kind of is at the same time. It kind of puts my name to shame making this video, but it's one I really wanted to make. Blue Lock is a manga that has accumulated a lot of popularity over the past year and a half, and just recently it has been announced for anime. I know I could have just waited for the anime to come out before making a video, but I just couldn't wait anymore. This manga is a very special one in that it's not only got some incredible artwork that stands out so much from other manga, but has a premise that is incredibly unique. Blue Lock is basically a sports manga, and if you've read any sports mangas or watched any sports anime at all, you'd probably understand the gist of these types of stories. New kid at school, transfer student, probably had some traumatic experience playing a sport, either an injury or failed moment, and they decide to leave it behind, only to be coerced somehow into playing the sport they initially played and have to face their past eventually. However, Blue Lock decides to completely rework this. It starts by showing our main character dribbling the ball down the field, and his team is down 1-0. He finds himself one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and with a chance to shoot and score a goal, he decides to pass to his teammate next to him to secure the goal. However, after passing his teammate, he hits the goalpost and misses it, which leads to the other team countering and scoring a goal of their own to secure the win, and they move on to the nationals. Our main character Isagi Yoichi is left wondering what would have happened if he had decided to be selfish there and take that shot himself instead of passing, which is what defines the premise of this manga to the core, flipping the idea of teamwork being the most important thing when trying to win in football on its head. The idea that you must put the team first before individual success. We are later on introduced into the Blue Lock system by its founder and probably one of the most interesting characters I have come across in a while, Jinpachi Igo. He is tired of the mediocrity of Japan's football team and establishes a program to gather the best forwards and strikers from Japan's high schools and make them compete with each other until there is only one player left who will be the final product of the Blue Lock system. The super interesting aspect of Igo is that he decides to completely discard the idea that football must be played with a team and promotes the fact that players should be selfish and should look to score goals themselves, only focusing on their own personal achievements. He continually establishes this idea. However, he also believes and advocates the fact that this style of play can lead to winning. Igo designing the system and forcing these players to destroy their past preconceptions about football and harden these teenagers into these cold-hearted, selfish goal-scoring machines is all a part of his plan to raise the next generation of Japanese football players to not go down the same path that Japanese football has laid out for them, but instead establish a new and innovative path to challenge the old-fashioned idealistic ways of football in place already. And he starts by telling the high schoolers that only one of them can be the successor of the Blue Lock system, to place the idea in their heads that this is equivalent to a death game in that they can only rely on their own strength and nothing else. Igo plans it like this to bring out the players' inner selfishness and create an atmosphere where no player can find trust in anyone else. His ultimate goal is to eventually create a squad of 11 players on the field that possess the ability to be self-sufficient on the field. Let me explain that more. Normal football or any team sport in general requires players to be one with their teammates. You need your teammates and yourself to be in sync with each other while playing to achieve the desired victory. The normal way, or should I say traditional way, of achieving this harmony between teammates is by spending time practicing with them, learning what plays they like, their strengths and weaknesses, as well as how to bring out the best in them. This is known as the one and only true method that helps build team chemistry and achieve success in team sports. However, there is a hidden flaw in this approach that nobody other than Jinpachi Igo has found, and that is the deference of oneself to the team. Like the example with Isagi and his teammate, who Isagi passed the ball to, leading to a miss from his teammate. The behavior that Isagi exhibited there is known as deference, and is the reason why Isagi lost that game. Isagi has been trained ever since a child to always put the first, and if you ever see your teammate in a position to score, you should 100% always undoubtedly give the ball over to your teammate. This is what Isagi and millions of other people have grown up with in team sports. The issue is that when both teams are vying for victory over each other and both teams consist of players that have learned under the same system, the result will always be predictable. We see this in the under 20 Japan team, who have been mediocre for so many years. If you go to the panel of Isagi about to shoot the ball himself before seeing his teammate, you could see that even though he was trained under the system for so long, he had the urge to shoot the ball himself and go for the goal. This is what Jinpachi is trying to bring out and foster. By creating a team of players that only wish for themselves to succeed and to be the person who scores the most goals, he completely destroys the hindrance of teammates having to defer to each other and not being able to naturally identify when to pass and when to shoot. When the players are in the Blue Lock system, plenty of them come to realize something known as the smell of a goal. goal, meaning that they know what play they must make to help lead to a goal, whether that be a pass to someone or taking the shot themselves. They learn this through Ego's blue lock system, and because they are able to think for themselves on the field and look for their own success rather than worrying about setting up teammates, they not only stop unnecessary deference of the ball, but also emptying out the hesitation in their minds when it comes to scoring or passing. Rather than thinking of what play to make next to please their coaches or teammates, they decide on pure instinct mixed with the resolve and confidence that they gain from their own individuality on the field, whether to shoot the ball or pass it. Ego has decided to completely turn the football world, and maybe even the world of team sports, on its head. Although his plan does have instances which could lead to disaster, such as a player containing so much pride and ego they choose to ignore the flow or smell of a goal entirely, but I believe that Ego's blue lock system is still in its early stages, and by the time it's perfected, will be an occurrence that will rock the foundation of the football world forever. We are barely seeing the full capabilities of blue lock yet in the manga, so the sooner it moves on to bigger games with higher stakes, the blue lock system will truly be challenged, and we will see if it can live up to the expectations it has garnered for itself. I hope you enjoyed the video and appreciated the blue lock manga even more now, knowing just how insanely technical it is in its analysis of football. Thanks for watching.